that guy who rapped on like that is scared of Drake. So I don't want to be disrespectful with it, but when I say scared of Drake, I mean the tactics that Drake uses, it's not easy to go against.
Yo.
We got Levi's Wise Guys.
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
We got to get into this new song that just dropped. Drake released a new song called Tailor Made Freestyle where he is dissing Kendrick Lamar again. He's trying to back-to-back him.
He's at his head top.
He's really trying to force him out of his hiding spot that he is trying to portray. And so, man, I'm mad because, you know, we recorded on our off week. We missed the push-ups diss. We didn't talk about that on the podcast. We'll get into that in a few, but, you know, what are your first impressions on this new Tailor Made Freestyle? Is Drake going ham or does he need to chill?
My first impression is Drake is having fun with this, man. Because, you know, I don't think enough is talked about how, you know, there's pressure on musicians to drop great bodies of work. There's pressure on them to make good songs. You know, they probably going through, you know, producers telling them to do this, executives telling them to do this, blah, 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 blah. Drake is just going in the booth, studio, and just making music, and he's having fun with it. You can tell. But this also is just a reflection of how good of a rapper he is. Even when he's BSing and messing around, like, I didn't get the impression that this song took 3 days or 4 days to make. I get the impression this took maybe like an hour. He was just like, yo, hey, guys, this real quick. Let me just write up some raps, you know, put through AI, you know, have fun with it. And the raps are still excellent. Yeah. Like, you know, his punchlines is still hitting. You know, the joint where he said, hi, something, Harriet Hughes. Like, I was like, dog, like, it's just hitting. It just shows how good of a rapper he is, even when he's messing around. It's a very interesting route Drake is taking with his shots right now. He's begging Kendrick to drop. He's like, come on, man, what's taking you so long? Like, that is he's putting the pressure on Kendrick. Drake is doing what Eminem did on 8 Mile. He's on that song. He's saying, what you going to say? Like, you got to talk about my baby mama in a TUPAC voice. He's like, you got to talk about him being from Canada. Like, he's soft. You know, you got to talk about this. So I really think Drake is taking command. That's probably the best word to use with this song. And then at the same time, having fun with it. Yes. Which is really cool to see, man.
Drake is putting some much needed energy into rap, right? Like, everybody was happy that these guys was beefing in the first place. Oh, man, this is what we needed. Oh, this is what hip hop need. But we also need a guy who's going to do it in a manner that is carefree, and he knows that I'm pushing the envelope, right? And I love the attitude. He almost reminds me of like Tyrese Maxey on the Sixers, right? Like, you see Tyrese Maxey playing, and he always just has a smile on his face. The man dropped 20, he drops 50.
He's joyful
he's having
on the court.
A good time out
he's
there.
He's joyful
right?
on the court.
And so there's something to be said about Drake's attitude. Nonetheless, dog, I love this. I love this diss. I loved it. I love the dissing from different perspectives angle. Like, and this is the first time that in hip hop history that AI, artificial intelligence, has been used by a credible rapper in a high profile beef that I'm aware of. I love it because this whole talk about AI, which we'll get into in with the next topic, but I just love.
It's revolutionary.
Tupac's what he believed Tupac's perspective. I love
it was revolutionary.
Snoop Dogg's
it was
perspective
cool.
would be.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we handed you the torch, bro. Like, we know you're not a killer, but like, bro, he's spanking you. Like, you need to come out here and do something about this.
On behalf of the West Coast.
And you know what this reminds me of? This almost feels like, but you hear a lot of stories about, you know, kids when they get in fights back in the day. Yeah. And then, like, let's say one of the kids punks out, they go home, the mom finds out that the kid punked out, and she goes and escorts him back to go fight the person. Yeah. That this reminded me of like Snoop Dogg and Tupac being like that guardian figure, like telling Kendrick, yo, Drake is whooping your ass, bro. Like, come out here and fight. I love that. He's trying to change the narrative and trying to paint Kendrick in a certain light and basically calling him a pawn. Like, how many times can Drake call Kendrick a puppet? Like, he's been calling him a puppet this whole time. He's like, yo,
which is
man.
such an interesting take.
he's like, yo, man, like, remember the whole drop and give me 50, right? On the other disc, he's calling him a puppet. Like, Top Dog, you do what they say.
Taylor
Even in
Swift.
this one, Taylor Swift, they having meetings with your manager named Ant. You're a puppet. Like, that's kind of interesting to me. I want to see how that materializes. But dope disc.
For sure.
Dope disc.
It's dope. It's
Dope
revolutionary. I mean, I think this is going to change the way, because I think people were hesitant, because this was always out there. You could have always done this. People want to hear what Tupac in 2024, like what Tupac would sound like on a record. You know, this has always been an opportunity to do that. So like for an artist to A-list artist to actually go out on the limb and do this, that's revolutionary. But you know, I do want to bring a point about what Drake has done in these diss records that I've not seen people say. You know what? It's funny when the diss discussions happen, people always just assume what happened to them before. Like, for instance, they're like, Drake got murdered by Pusha T. Drake got murdered by Pusha T on the story of Adnan. Maybe Drake learned from that and now knows how to move in beefs. How come nobody ever mentions that? So when you're going like, oh, yeah, Kendrick will destroy Drake because see what Pusha T did to Drake? Well, Pusha T doing that to Drake has caused him to learn how to move in a beef. So
absolutely,
that actually gives him an advantage. Drake has now been in more battles than Kendrick, high-level battles than Kendrick. So this whole idea that Kendrick is going to destroy him, or that this is light work, or that, you know, it's nonsense. Like,
yo, I'm glad
people learn from what they've done.
I'm glad you're saying that. You asked me about J. Cole earlier, right? And I'm my feelings about J. Cole, man, since he apologized has been twofold. One, I'm not as angry anymore.
You were very angry.
I was pissed.
You were very angry.
On behalf of all J. Cole fans, I know y'all feel me and y'all feel my sentiments. We ain't gonna let you like forget that. You're still a great rapper, but no, you can't apologize for what you did on 7 Minute Drill. With that being said, you were actually right about him the whole time. You were right about Cole's demeanor. You're right about what he ultimately, not the apology, but like the fact that he cops pleas. You were right about that. And I'm here to tell you this. I may be wrong here, but remember when we talked about Drake and Kendrick back in the day on the podcast, I told you that Kendrick was scared of Drake. I told you this.
You did say that. You did.
I know that sounds blasphemous because Kendrick is this like domineering dude, right? He's very braggadocious, right? It's hard to imagine that guy who rapped on like that is scared of Drake. So I don't want to be disrespectful with it, but when I say scared of Drake, I mean the tactics that Drake uses, it's not easy to go against. Drake plays internet games. Drake plays social media games. Now he's playing AI games. This is a different beast we talking about. And he's battle tested, like you said. He learned from the Pusha T thing. What has Kendrick done in a beef that proves without a shadow of a doubt that he is ready for this type of moment? I'm not saying he can't deliver, but I'm saying we seen him on Control. We saw what he did. Nobody really met him, right? They didn't really engage in the manner in which we kind of let him get that off, even though people responded. Like that came. We let him get that off. Here's somebody that stepped right up. Drake met you with the challenge. I need to see Kendrick Lamar in battle.
Well, you see,
otherwise, I'm telling you, I think Drake has an angle that everything he's saying about, yo, what's up with this guy? Where is he at?
Well,
I'm not saying Kendrick cannot deliver, but I'm saying I genuinely need to see Kendrick in a battle because I have doubts on this guy's strategies in a battle.
Drake's biggest blessings, I think, is also one of his curses. Like, one of the reasons I don't think his albums are always great is because I think he is tapped into what, you know, the people, a vast majority of people want to hear. And he is tapped into what the younger people want to hear. He's tapped into that culture, right? And so I think a lot of times that makes the music a little watered down. Thank you. That's the word I want to use. But so that's the negative. But in this beef, that's what he's doing. He's tapped into the culture. He is allowing academics to hype up this beef. and put him in a pedestal. He's going through Adin Ross. He's going through all these people. No Jumper saying I got. That is the new way to move and be.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say Drake is one of the few people who can pull that off. Mm-hmm. He is literally playing. He's like Geppetto, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't think many people can actually pull off what he. Bro, he dissed Metro Boomin and told him to shut the hell up and make beats, and then sent a goddamn marching band to Magic City.
That's what I'm saying. Like those, those antics,
that's
which
crazy.
I'm pretty sure he learned from 50. On push-ups, he said, got me moving like I'm 50. He is doing those 50 like antics, and these are the things. What wins you the war? Does doing it the archaic way, which Kendrick is just dropping songs, that's archaic. That is an archaic way of moving.
I'm gonna say this:
dropping songs, or is it the way Drake's doing it, where you got the young fellas and the content creators, the academics of the world helping you hype this thing up? Like, which way is gonna win this?
They always say how, like, in war and in battle, the history books are written by the victors, right? So like, it doesn't matter that you fought a good fight. If you lost, your narrative is what the world receives. Nobody cares about the loser's narrative. So what I'm trying to say by saying that is, right now, Drake is implementing a narrative about Kendrick. He's moving in a manner that, to me, is very hard to beat. Because he is now pulling strings. He's pulling heartstrings of people online. He is changing the narrative in real time with dropping 2 songs back to back, pulling social media strings. Kendrick Lamar literally will have to do something Pulitzer Prize winning in terms of a body of work in order to change the narrative about Drake.
I don't know.
Bro, he got to drop a music video, a musical. That shit got to be so crazy. And I don't mean from a rapping, I just mean like artistically. It has to be so groundbreaking that it changes, it just wipes out everything that Drake is moving. Because I'm telling you,
things never meet expectations. The Kendrick Lamar diss will never meet your. I mean, at what you're saying, this level, all of their careers are solidified. Kendrick Lamar is a legend, whether he loses his beef or not. He is a legend. He is 30-something, 35, 36. He's probably going to retire soon. Drake is a legend. Whether he loses his beef or not, Drake is Drake. He's probably going to retire soon also. J. Cole's a legend. So it's like, it's, in one sense, this is fun, but this is not going to mess up nobody's legacy. You know what I mean?
J. Cole, we on your ass. We ain't going to let you forget that.
At the end of the day, it's like,
Listen to the full episode. Link below.